So, paddled from Crabtree out to here. This is my first stop. I had to get something to drink and take a dip. It's kind of warm. I don't have any clue what the temperature is. But I did find one tiny little chunk. Not seeing much else. Doesn't seem like the right terrain. But I needed a drink. I needed to refill my water and take a swim. Water's nice. It's a good spot, actually. Probably have shade over here in just a little bit. But this is not my goal. I'm gonna have my brunch. Some cottage cheese and a plum. And there's more chalcedony, but not a good one. I'm gonna quick have my brunch, take another dip, and paddle onward. Pretty gorgeous. Later. So I don't know how far I am, but I'm way out past where I usually am. Just scoping beaches, because I know mine's running out. Just that one little tiny bit so far. Just got into this cove back here, so looks like a nice place to hang for a little bit and walk the shores. So I think this is where I'm going to park for a minute. Later. Had to stop, kind of just float here for a minute so you guys could see this. I was told this is actually a peninsula, but it's mostly underwater. I just love that tree out there. The birds think it's really awesome too. Actually, it's a couple trees. I'm going to paddle over that way. I've been here a couple times, maybe 3 times. It's a neat area. Later. Alright. Whoops. What the hell? So, I stopped at the little beach. And I do mean little. It literally, my kayak takes up most of the beach. I just had to stop. There's always been, that looks like part of a propeller. There's always been just enough water covering it that you couldn't anchor off anywhere. Or waves crashing so hard you couldn't step off. Kind of gross. Not too bad there. I gotta go take a dip there. Tell you, she's toasty today. Current temperature 109. Alright, we just toured the whole island. Just kind of cool. I think it is anyhow. Sorry if you don't. Later. Okay, so I just stopped at this little tiny island here to take a dip because, yep, she is hot. Fucking beautiful though. Absolutely beautiful. Found one little tiny chunk and one that's part quartz, part chalcedony, but nothing yet. Later. Gonna do a little action knee cam for you because it's just beautiful out here. It's a tish breezy, just a little bit. I know it's hard to hear me when I have the phone like this because everything's closed to make it waterproof, so that blocks up the mic. But just really nice. Looking for beaches with chalcedony and agate. So far, nothing. I see a little sandy spot over here. I'm about ready for a little dip. So I think we're going to go roll into that sand right there. Later. Incredible. There is no way you can gather the enormity of that wall. Oh, I love it out here. Okay, so I'm standing on this little sandy beach that I found. There's two of them, and the beach is nicer. Unfortunately, it just like drops off into the water so freaking fast that getting out and going for a swim would be difficult. But this one's got a nice slope to it, so I can hang out here for a little bit. I need to get in the water and cool down. My skin's starting to get pink. I would like to go up. Let me see if I can put my finger in the picture here. I would like to go right in there, but I don't know that there's a beach there, and it's really hot. And because it's really hot, I've got to stop frequently for dips. So, front side's getting a little pink. I think it's time to consider motivating backwards towards the dragon. Get the backside of me fried, I guess. Anyhow. Oh God, sorry. I'm having a hard time seeing the back of my screen, so I can never tell where I'm pointing. There we go, that's better. Sorry about that. Absolutely beautiful. There's the orange slice. Yeah, all my shit has names. Kaida and the orange slice. Okay, that, I would just love to do that. I would just love to climb up to that. It does look pretty steep. The only way I could do it is if somebody I know brings a boat this fall and we come out here and they park right there so I can kill myself with somebody watching. Because I sure as hell can't do that when I kayak here by myself. It looks like an animal trail, so it is, you know. But look how awesome that is. I know it doesn't go anywhere, and that's all it is. But the area right below it, that looks fascinating. It's good land right there. All right, now that I'm all the way out here, I was gonna go to that little corner right there, and then I said, nah, I'm just gonna turn around and go back. And then I saw the amphitheater thing that I completely forgot was out here. So now that I'm that close, I'm going, but we're heading back. The winds keep gusting up, so I won't have to work too hard getting back, but later. Oh, there's a boat back here. I have been fascinated by this area for a paddled past it once. And said I need to check it out. However, never got back this far. We have shade back here. There's a little beach back here. Curious to see how far back we can get. Yeah, it don't look like we can go any farther than this, but oh, truly, go back in there. Oh my God, there's a spot back here where there's a waterfall. That would be so cool to see one. OMG. That is totally a place I want to climb around. That would be a neat waterfall. Oops, sorry. That's a neat waterfall to see. It's got a little overhang, so it would run off the cliff. That'd be a fun little waterfall to climb. I'd love to get out there and check that, but yeah, not solo mio in a kayak out in the middle of the lake. Of course, there are a couple fishermen over here. It's really beautiful in this little cove. I think I need to take a swim. I'm hot. Later. Okay. So, I can tell you, well, I've walked up the wash a little bit. Trying to find a way to go here. But that would be a fun hike. That would be a really fun hike. And I really, 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 really want to do that. How can I do that? I can't do that solo. I mean, I could do that solo, but it definitely has to wait. It definitely has to wait for somebody to be able to be nearby on the lake. Moccasins would be a good idea. These rocks are not designed for fucking water shoes. Oh, this would be a beautiful little pool if that waterfall was running. Holy moly. Nice. Alright. I'm gonna go for a swim. Start to make my way back out. Stay away from the fucking cat claw. Ouch. Feels nice in the shade. I mean, nicer in the shade. It ain't no glorious thing, I'll tell you that. That's 9. Even with the breeze is a tad rough. But it's really not terrible when you're on the water and you stop at little places like this and go for a dip and just enjoy. But I'm gonna say I'm probably 4 miles from where I launched, and the wind will be at my back, so I'll make good speed going back, but there's just a need to have to stop and cool down. So alright, I'm gonna take a dip, cool off for a little bit, fix my water, and head towards my other beach. Later. This is quite a bit further back from where I was. Actually, I think I'm almost across from the tree right now. I'm on the other side of the lake. But pretty freaking awesome day. I think my camera's gross. Later. Okay, that's a little better. Check out those 2 bulls up there. Where are they? Seriously. Yeah, my lens won't do that with the phone, with the video. Doesn't have a pic. Not an option unless I take my phone out of the case, and I'm not doing that. So, back to paddling. Sorry. Later. Headed to my regular beach. I am somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 miles into this day, and quite frankly, I'm waiting for the sun to go down. Oh my god, check this out. I took my brace off. Can you see the tan line? Look at that. Crazy. And I've gotten a little bit much sun, so I don't really actually care if the sun goes down. I took a cursory walk through the beach, only found 2 little pieces. 2 pieces other than that all day at all the beaches I stopped at, but it still was a fun day. I'm going to take my drink. I just made myself a cocktail, and I'm going to take my drink and go sit in the water and cool my skin down for a while. So, there's that. Later. So, I want to just float back. Unfortunately, my kayak keeps wanting to turn me into the sun. And, tan line. I don't know if you can see it, but I think I've had enough sun. Look at this rock craziness. Oops. The rock is literally, the big rock is literally around that harder rock, which is obviously a harder rock, and it's slowly gonna be able to be pulled out of there super easy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm in the shade. It's nice. Alright, later. I'm just kind of slow floating it in the shade zones along the shore. I've had plenty of sun for the day. I'll peek out there when I get a chance to see how the sunset's looking, but I'm all about the shade. And there's no decent beaches. There's a beach there, but it's kind of yucky, so I won't be getting out there. But I'm gonna paddle on, just enjoying a nice and relaxing, non-windy lake. Shade cruise. Later. Here's your weekly Apache Lake sunset from a different viewpoint. Nice colors. We have some clouds, so I'm hoping we're gonna get some really prettiness. I'm glad the sun's down. I'm toasty. Later. So, this sky right here could turn that sky really incredible. I am not even in a slight rush to get my ass back to the house, so monkey's home, he's safe. Later. Wow, this sky is on par to turn out really beautiful if it keeps going the way it is. It's amazing already. Look at the colors. Wow, I gotta try to clean my lens. This is ridiculous. That is awful pretty. It's getting awful pretty. It's pretty beautiful. I'm losing color back here because the sun's getting too low, but wow. Look at that. That is some pretty amazing colors. Driving home and I drove right into a frickin' dust storm haboob. Holy crap-a-moly. Almost home. Look at this dust. Holy shit.